Okay, so this is part 2 of my live stream called Gosling Day. It is the afternoon of May, thanks, that's good to know. You can see me. So it is the afternoon of May the 7th, right? Thursday, May the 7th. And this is the family I'm showing right here with goslings. They got 3 little ones out there on that island. They were kind of running around here when I was looking at them before. It's unfortunate that the video went to black. I just, in grabbing my phone to try to stabilize it, I hit the power button. And then I had to go back through like facial recognition and all that stuff to get back on. And I guess it never turned the video back on. That sucks. Because I could see making that slip again real easy sometime. Oh, we got some duck chase over here. This guy's got his honey there. Doesn't want any other duck messing with her. Somebody just popped up and had a look at her though. Who is that? Little muskrat? No. That's a little diving duck. Who is that? Is that a golden eye still? I think it is. See if that male golden eye is still here. Yeah, sure enough. Huh. Anyhow, we're a ways from those geese, but we could try to take a closer look. There is a means down there. It's just so many people here. I don't want to kind of crowd them. And I don't want to give other people the idea to go down there to have a close look like that. Maybe I'll just leave them, you know? Just leave them. We'll have plenty of time to watch them grow. It's just good to confirm some are here. It's up the Coyote Way up that way. Hello. No worries. I thought they were dodging because they didn't want to be on the film themselves. Or maybe they're thinking I'm too close to them for the appropriate social distance. I don't know. I think people should definitely take the COVID seriously. But I also think we got to figure out ways to reignite the economy. Little smoldering ruins. Gotta blow on it. But we gotta do it while maintaining individual safeties. Here we have Sspopiikimi in bloom, which is what the next lunar cycle is actually named after. The flower moon. Sspopiikimi or Sspopiikimi. Which the flowering of this plant, I guess, is taken as a sign that it's the time to hunt bulls. Buffalo bulls were in their prime, and they're only in their prime for a very short window of time. And it's also the calves were there, so people wanted calf robes for their children. There's a really famous story, Sspopiikimi, or Sspopiikimi, actually, the bunched children, about the Pleiades constellation, with the kids that didn't get their calf robes. Gonna go up this way and just take a look, see if the garter snakes have departed from their dens where they were doing their mating dances last week. Yeah, this will be all in bloom with the golden beans soon. Really likes this exposed area out here. Even these dark soils, that's all golden bean growing in there. Not a bean that you can eat, unfortunately. Or you could, but you're gonna get sick. Pretty nice day. Kind of cloudy enough to get some shadow cast, you know, not always in direct sun. Slight breeze, but none of that typical Lethbridge hurricane force. Sspopiikimi sopo. It's rainy yesterday, which can lend itself perhaps to the growth of asparagus and mushrooms, which are next on my, well, really first on my harvest list probably, but they shouldn't be. Right now I should be out getting greens. There's a lot of young mustard greens and lots of violets and violas and those kind of things that, and some of the wild, what would you call it? Those traps that you ordered come in yet? Oh, asking about the beaver traps. No, the beaver traps have not come in yet. I just ordered those yesterday, the day before, I think the day before yesterday. And so I don't actually expect them till, I'm guessing they're gonna be Monday or Tuesday. And oh look, we still got lots of garter snakes at some of the denning areas here. still in their mating piles. There's a group here, a little bit further this way. It's another group kind of basking and huddling together at the same time. There's one big one in there. She's bringing them all down the hole to safety, away from the creepy guy. So yeah, the traps have not come yet, but they're going to be here very soon, and I'm going to need to go probably tomorrow and scope out the site and start planning for how I'm going to set the traps there and bait them and such. And how long until the garter snakes leave the den site? Do they stick around the area for the whole? Nope, they should be leaving. In fact, I kind of thought they would already be gone today, so I didn't really expect to find them still there. Most of the snakes are dispersing from their winter hibernacula. You know, garter snakes are taking their time because they're doing the mating thing. But when that's done, they're going to be gone, and I kind of figured they'd already be done, but I guess not. See if the bull snakes are down here doing their stuff as well. I wouldn't think so, but you know, the snakes proved me wrong. So yeah, tomorrow probably I'm going to go check out that site, prepare and plan. You know, certainly I'm not going to lay $1,200 of equipment down there on the ground, and I got to figure out some way to anchor it and lock it in place so that I'm not losing that. That's a big investment for me at a time when I don't have a lot of resources to invest. But if it ends up working out so that the beavers here are not being cold for death, and I get thrown maybe some kind of city contract around it, then I guess it'll pay off. Or not even city contracts. I guess I could privately contract to move beavers with that same equipment as well. But I guess hopefully it'll pay for itself. I don't know. But in the short run, it's making things tight. And I expected to get some skunk calls this morning, but did not. I've got a lot of traps out there at this point. But there's also, I think, a lot of mamas, and the skunk mamas, as I've said before, do not like to go into the traps. I'm kind of moving slowly up here. There's something going on around the flowering of these skunk brush smack. Are these a little native bee that's visiting them? Oh, yes. Let's see if we can get some to sit still on a flower somewhere. I'll zoom in. Gee, at one time I wouldn't have dared get close to this kind of range, to this many bees and wasps is what's going on here. There is some wasp action too. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. If I can. Is that stable? Can you see that wasp there? Yeah, taking off. There's a lot of little local bees. Not so much the honeybees, though, the European honeybees. These are all local bees here. These are all indigenous bees. Yeah, one time I wouldn't have dared ever come through an area with this many bees and wasps. But at that time I had a curse. And I was being stung and bitten multiple times every year. That went on for more than 2 decades. Brought on by my own action, but all right, there is a bull snake that was denned up over here. I'll see if I can find that one. I kind of expected to see some snakes by this skunk brush, but not seeing any. Well, not expected, but that's where the places where if we're gonna run into the bull snakes, we might have. But like I say, I really did expect both the bull snakes and garter snakes to be gone. Ooh, I see a black widow. Wonder if I can show you her. Let's see. There she is. See her there? Right in her web in the hole. See if she lets me get closer before she dives. Not seeing any egg sacs as yet, but that's what she's there for. She's gonna make a little nest there. Just moving slow through here because this is kind of the area where I seen the snake, but the little hole it's occupying is so small I could easily bypass it or step right over it, you know. Once we get to this little piece of deadwood hoop over here, I'll have gone too far. Oh, I think this is the snake. This hole right here, but does not look like anybody's basking today. Big goose issues. Yeah, so it appears as though the garter snakes are the last ones kind of hanging back at their den sites. Rattlesnakes and bull snakes appear to have dispersed. All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace here. Maybe I can even cut down. It's kind of steep. I'll go up this way. Prickly pears are looking happy. Nice and plump. Still got some of the wee mustard growing here and there. Every once in a while I run into a place that I just know is snaky, and I have to remind myself there are rattlesnakes here below Heritage. I remind other people a lot. Gotta remind myself sometimes too. Have to slow it down when you're in a snaky zone. River looks full, not really swollen, and not as meager as it had during the winter. It's definitely got some melt off and probably some of that rain from yesterday in there. The river looks healthy. I wonder if we'll get any flooding of significance this year. We haven't for a little bit here. Saskatoons are finally in bloom. You've seen them thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. They finally decided to pop. Oh yeah, speaking about things popping, I hurt my leg. I don't think I mentioned that in yesterday's video. I hurt my leg pretty bad. I was running maybe 5 days ago. I went running, and I'd gone maybe 4 kilometers, going into the 5th kilometer, and I felt in my left calf like it went into muscle cramp in my left calf, and it was too cramped to run on. I knew I had to like stop my run for the day because I needed whatever nutritional deficiencies, but there wasn't any way that muscle was going to let me keep going for the day uncramped. So went home, and it hurt actually for the rest of the day. It wasn't a muscle cramp, right? Something else going on. But next day felt all right. And then the day after that, you know, all felt good, and my legs were telling me, let's go for a run. So I went out to go running, and I didn't even get half a block, and that same cramp came back. But this time it lasted all that day, and then all of yesterday as well, and it's still hurting today. And as you can see, I'm quite swollen. I'll show you my legs here. Hey, look at the left compared to the right. There's quite a bit of swelling on the left, all the way down my ankles and everything, from my calf down. So I've injured something. Well, I've injured some like a tendon or something. Maybe I pulled something, I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty swollen. So, but it's walkable. I feel comfortable walking on it, but I got to do something to get that swelling down. Chelsea gave me ibuprofen last night, but it didn't really do the trick. Maybe I need to up my dosage a little bit and try again. I should do something to reduce that swelling though. But yeah, I'm able to walk on it, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be running for probably, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. Hello. Yeah, it's wicked swollen. That's the, you know, with the barefooting, you know, that's the more likely kind of injury that I'm gonna get, is a muscle injury, tendon injury around the calves, because it's a lot of work on the calves, barefoot running. But I prefer to get these kind of injuries to like knee injuries and foot injuries. I prefer not to have like a bunch of micro fractures and stuff that I'm constantly dealing with, and shin splints and all of that, like shoe runners. I never have any of that stuff. This is the first injury that I've actually had running of any significance ever. You know, since I've been barefoot running. Anytime I've worn shoes, you know, I can feel pains and stuff. But barefoot running, no. And you know what this is a message to me is probably supplement with foods of lactic acid. Hey, okay, yeah. What it says to me is, hey man, maybe you should be stretching a little bit more, because I don't really stretch at all. I might go on anywhere from a quarter to a half a marathon run with no stretch before, during, or after, you know, just because I don't make the time for it. I didn't used to be that way. I used to make sure I get a little bit of everything. I had a well-rounded training regime, but now I'm injured. So what kind of foods are high in lactic acid? Like, what can you use? What can you eat that's gonna fit that role? It's that lactic acid that takes down the swelling. So that's what I'm kind of concerned with now, is it's been 2 days swollen. That can't be good for anything, you know? Just walking along the river trail by the Owl Wood. These trails, doesn't hurt to walk on at all. Well, it feels tight. You know, it feels tight. My leg feels tight because of the swelling. Oh, I love this little bronze colored, it's like a bronze camouflage tiger beetle. See if I can get him in the, oh, there's a couple of them here. See those guys? Oh, mating, coitus. Oop, let's try to get the, yeah, it hurts a little bit. Like there's a, it definitely still feels like in the muscle, like it's almost like a cramped, like how you feel when you have a muscle cramp. But this is loose. This would be like if you know that any moment the cramp could come back. Hey, that's how it kind of feels. It feels like there's a cramp underlying there that could shoot back any time. But as far as the comfort of the walk goes, the thing that's really bugging me is the swelling. you know, because it feels tight and it's kind of starting to feel itchy, you know. Not itching it, but yeah, so we saw the cowpath tiger beetle a little bit earlier in the season, and now those bronze, I forget what I think they're called a bronze tiger beetle, doing their thing. Didn't notice any frog singing at Sspopiikimi as I passed. It's bizarre. Never had anything like that before. Wish I could give you advice, but I got nothing. Yeah, I think I just probably like just strained a tendon or something in there, and I don't know. Maybe there's a muscle, even a little bit of muscle retracted somehow. But I don't know. I'll probably have to see a doctor at some point, because it is an actual injury. I don't know. A lot of times with these kind of things, I think it's just like physical therapy, you know, and time to heal. But it'd be cool to know actually what's going on there. Yeah, I didn't hear any frogs at the South Pond as we passed there before. And, you know, there used to be beer for lactic acid. Well, that is not a difficult prescription for me. I can probably make that happen. Wonder about near beard. You gotta have beer. There used to be a garter snake den right in here. And I think those garter snakes, while they were here, cleaned out a healthy portion of the chorus frog population. But those garter snakes have since moved, as we've seen. I think that's probably the same group, just moved up that way. And they still come down here to South Pond. I filmed just one of the last times I visited here, going into South Pond. That's when the frogs were croaking. I was kind of wondering if we don't have any frogs croaking right now, and they still should be. Wonder if the snakes have already had their go with them. It is interesting seeing the garters are still back there mating, that we did run into that one. That was at least a week ago, just down here on the wet meadows, or at the bulrush area down here. No, there's a frog croaking. Hear it? All right, good. Good. Maybe I just wasn't picking up on it. There's a couple of them. Okay, good. Because I was thinking, I wonder if that snake cleaned them out. Because certainly he was hunting, but there's lots of things in the pond for the snake to hunt. The Saskatoon Okanoki in bloom, and again being visited by lots of little small native bees. I am not seeing honeybees. And those who've kind of been keeping up with my videos will know that one of the questions that I have regarding the grass fire we had here, or the fire we had here, one of the questions I had was if it may have damaged honeybee nests, because I wasn't seeing honeybees on the bullberries so much either, which they should be swarmed with. If any of my previous seasons here have taught me anything. Just more having fun with your toilet. Oh yes, the toilet struggle continues. It still doesn't have the powerful flush that it once did, so there's still stuff in there. I haven't even got out the toy that Reed admitted he put in there. We don't know what it is, but he did say he flushed a toy down there. But haven't I haven't come across that, but I'm pulling all kinds of weird hardware and stuff out of there, so who knows what's all in there. Maybe it's at the point now where I need to take the toilet off of the floor and get into it that way. I don't know. The guy on YouTube made those toilet augers like I bought work like a charm, real simple. It is not so simple. Oh, what could we have here? Can you see this? Is it too wobbly? It's a kingfisher, or not kingfisher, killdeer here. Doing some little displays and distractions. She may, by how close she's allowed me to get, she may have something going on around here. We'll see. It's gonna, yeah, look at, she's doing this display. Oh, I'm broken. I'm a broken bird. Come help me, hey? Let's see. Oh. Oh, am I catching that even for you guys? Hold on. It's hard to see in my finder. Where is she? Oh. Hold on. Watching where I walk very carefully as I make my way forward here, just such that I do not step on killdeer eggs. So I suspect she's got something going on up here. Guide me out this way, then she'll fly back around. I don't know if you guys still see her there. She's staying ahead of me and keeps making these displays. Laying on her side and stuff. Fanning her wing out. Weird. See if I get close enough to show it to you good and proper. Well, I'm guessing she's gonna fly back around pretty soon here. She's still leading further out. But she's no longer doing the display. She's just on a hike now. There she goes. Swing around. Yeah, she's probably quite aware that I'm watching her. She's gonna stop right there. There she goes. Back up to the original area we encountered her. Hold on, I'm gonna get back in there and read some of the comments now, because I know I let some pass by. Oh, I'm being asked about my last name. Hold on, let's see what all is here. Okay, lactic acid, blah, 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 super footage. About time you went live. Watch me with the toilet, Mr. Reed. All right, what's this about? It's a stream about Mr. Diver. And you pronounce your last name as what? Okay, so I have kind of recently, it's been a few months or what have you, but kind of recently had a Blackfoot name change. I used to go by a.k.a, which was the banner on my YouTube. And then I used the name Ryan Heavyhead. But Heavyhead is Mahoney's family name. Hey, when we married, I took her family name. And so, since we've separated, it seemed appropriate to, and I get a lot of pressure also to relinquish Heavyhead as the last name. So I decided, you know, it's been a pretty big change in my life in general in the last 5 years or so. And maybe it's time for me to take a new name anyway. Typically in you know, Blackfoot culture, men will change their names, their Blackfoot names, maybe up to 4 times in their life, but different stages, right? So I decided I was going to take a new Blackfoot name, and then I would just English-size that Blackfoot name. Oh, there are mushrooms a-coming. Yes, indeedy. Not exactly what I'm looking for, this particular species, but that's what I've been one of the things I've been waiting for. I'm down this way looking for asparagus and mushrooms at the moment. But yeah, I decided to change my Blackfoot name, so I had my friend who's an elder, Jonathan Redgun, up Axakonista, came and did the name change ceremony for me, traditional change, and then he gave me the name Sspopiikimi, which is first diver, which is a name that comes from the beaver bundle tradition. And I'm a beaver man, so I'm entitled to take those kinds of names. Nobody is using that name to my knowledge, so I took Sspopiikimi. And then I can English-size it to first diver, although it's really kind of more like first to dive, but it's just makes it easy for you know, giving your names to others in all kinds of circumstances if it's just first diver and not first to dive. So I just English-size it to first diver, and that's the last name that I'm gonna legally adopt, although I'm not sure what the sequence I should be taking at this point for doing that, because as you may or may not recall, given that you don't recall the name change, I'm assuming you're not cued in with what's going on my channel, whoever asked that question. Yeah, so my full name is Ryan First Diver at this point, yeah. So I'm going to have that legally changed. I haven't yet. My legal name is still Ryan Heavyhead, but I have to figure out the sequence that I need to take. I need to talk to Service Canada because I recently had my passport, my Canadian passport, which was the only kind of national level ID that I really had. So I have to replace the passport, and I don't know whether to do the legal name change first, then try to change the passport or acquire a new passport without any proper ID. I don't have my birth certificate. I don't have my Canadian citizenship papers. All of that is in Mahoney's house, and she's refused to give them to me. So without that stuff, I don't know how I'm going to acquire the new ID. And I'm thinking that probably the legal name change should wait until after I've at least settled that issue. But I don't know. I gotta talk to Service Canada and get some advice. I think somebody asked a question or something that I missed. Let me see. Oh, okay. Just saying that you understood or you've been following, but just didn't understand that part. Yeah, you know, it's all tricky stuff, and you know, I still want to identify, because you know I'm in that matrix of the Blackfoot world. That's still how I want to identify. You know. So I think the best way is just converting my Blackfoot name to an English name and leave it at that. Now Chelsea's saying maybe she'll take first diver. So not seeing any asparagus starts. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of rain yesterday, and I'm not seeing any other species of mushroom yet, or even any other batches of that LBM we just seen. It's looking a little greener out here. Well, yeah, Chelsea's Blackfoot, so she's into all of that. Nothing went wrong with liking beavers. Not sure I understand that one. But yeah, Chelsea's very much embedded in the Blackfoot world too. You know, she's she was once Miss Blackfoot Canada. I don't know if I've ever said that on here, but yeah. Yeah, these are, me and Carol were wondering what these little green shoots were gonna be. It does look like they're horsetail shoots of some kind. Or rush. Let's see. How are the ticks? Well, I haven't got one on myself this season, and I typically don't. But if you wear clothes, you might. Hey, or if you wear like pants. I do wear some clothes, but like pants. I find going in shorts all the time. For whatever reason, maybe it's because I'm in shorts, maybe it's not. Geez, every time I look down at my legs, it freaks me out. I'll show you again. Check that out. Just crazy swelling. See if I can get the. Yeah, I just look at it swelling in my sandal there, and it kind of freaks me out. What was I talking about? Threw myself off track. Yeah, a little bit more green out here, but really not that much more than probably 3-4 days in. That's Mr. Bigfoot's magpies protecting me. I don't know. I hope I have all kinds of protections. But gotta play things smart too. We'll let these guys pass. Hello. Hey. Don't they eat lots of ticks? Oh, the magpies? I get it now. Yeah, that, I don't know, maybe. I don't get ticks very often out here, but they're out here. No lockdown. Our river parks, our like nature parks and stuff are still open here. You're not supposed to go around sitting on benches and touching surfaces that other people are likely to touch. So all of our garbage cans and such are kind of propped open, so you can just toss things in there. You don't have to use your hands to open the lid. But yeah, we're allowing, you know, people to come out in these kind of wide open air spaces as long as we maintain appropriate social distance. That looked to me to be like a, you know, households group or something. So, you know, their proximity to each other, that's their thing. But me not knowing them, I'm not supposed to come within 6 feet of them. Hence, I kind of held back there and let them pass, right? So yeah, we're still okay to go out and enjoy some fresh air like this. and hopefully it'll stay that way, because I really need this stuff for my mental health, and I don't feel like I'm in any danger of getting COVID out here. And if I did, you know, I wouldn't come here. But I'm taking COVID pretty seriously. If you saw the beginning of my video, one of my friends passed away in the last 12 hours. Pretty good friend, and I think it was COVID, but they're not confirming that. But it was all the symptomology, you know, the new pneumonia, lungs, and other internal organs shut down, and eventual intubation and artificial coma, and then death. Yeah, so I think the COVID thing is very serious. You know, I consider this the first person I know to have died from COVID. I hope it's the last, but I think this thing, like she was, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, she's a pretty strong woman, the one that died, and it just didn't take long. It's like 3 weeks, maybe, going into the hospital, and then you know, just went down really quick. So that shit scares me. You know, she had some pre-existing issues, but so does a lot of people, myself included. You know, she's a little bit older than me, but very fit. You know, I could take her climbing up to the top of a mountain with no problem. She'd probably do as good as or better than me fitness-wise with it, you know. Smoker, that doesn't play good for anybody, you know, with this COVID, but I thought, you know, even at that, it would have taken longer to take out someone of her strength, but man, my goodness, you know, it just went quick. Maybe we'll go down this way, check out the river shore real quick. Yes, I take the COVID thing pretty serious. If I thought, you know, that I could potentially infect people with COVID or acquire COVID myself out here in the coulees, in the open air like this, I wouldn't come out. I'm much more afraid in the closer spaces, especially the indoor spaces that you don't have good air circulation and a good, you know, like diversity of all kinds of microorganisms and stuff around you. I'm much more afraid of being in the stores and places like that. And I am, when I go in the stores, I wear a mask, because I think it's just, at this point, it's really the polite thing to do, given that we don't have a real bead on what's going to happen with this virus. So I think it's the polite, civil thing to do, to wear a mask so that you're not breathing over all the products and people in the store, you know. So I do that, but it's not like around here. I would say maybe 10 or 15%, if that, are doing mask wearing when they're in like supermarkets and stuff. Most people are not. So and I know there's a lot of conflicting, you know, whether it's good or bad or necessary or what have you, but you know, it's not rocket dentistry to understand that if you're talking without a mask, you know, you might have a little spittle coming out of your mouth and stuff now and then. You might have some moist talking, as as our Prime Minister likes to say. So that's all I think it's important to use it for, but we got some little beetles curled up in this, this is a gall. Let's see if I can get the phone to focus on it even. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe, oh, now the beetles took off, darn it. It's a little metallic blue beetle. Yeah, the river's a bit swollen. It's more than healthy, it's a bit swollen. Not too bad though. All right, we'll go through the North Wood here. Make our way out. So my apologies for this having to be shot in 2 parts. I've got to try to remember to look out for making that mistake in the future. Never did figure out what was going on with the crows the other day. That was something else. It would have been less significant even if I hadn't seen the eagle chase the crow all that way just prior to that, but something was going on there that I didn't understand, and of course that's gonna remain a lingering question and drive me crazy for a while. And probably remain unanswered. Does that say the crows were definitely having a discussion? Share of info, yes. Yeah, and I'm accustomed to just categorizing activity like that as a funeral, though I don't know that that was the case this time. They might have been like, hey, something really messed up just happened with that eagle. Because normally those eagles don't chase the crows like that. I wonder if there's eagles nested over there somewhere. That's the only thing that kind of would make sense, but doesn't make sense, because we haven't typically ever had eagles nested over there, you know? More people, I gotta let them pass. Hey, Scotland. Look at this little, oh, there goes a bird. Wonder if that's mama. Got a little nest activity going on in here. Uh-oh, I'm getting an alert that I have low battery. So, I don't know if you even heard that. I'm getting an alert that I have low battery in my phone. So I'm gonna have to end our walk for the day. It's okay, we're almost back to the parking lot anyway. And go back and charge my phone. Yeah, low battery. We were gonna be at the end here anyway pretty quick, but the battery went faster this time than it had in previous walks. So I don't know what that's about. I gotta look into that. So thanks for joining me for another live session. Try to have another couple of them this month while I have used my data. But tomorrow we'll probably be checking in on the area where I'm going to trap beaver, and maybe skipping across the river to scope around a little bit for potential eagle nesting area. I'll get here within sight of the pond. Oh yes. And we'll sign off from here on Busy Pond. Thanks for joining. Talk to you later. Get 'em us in